There's a small group of people in the city of Temecula that don't like what the Temecula School Board has done. That very small group is telling a very big lie, namely about Dr. Joseph Komrosky, in an effort to try to remove him from office. We have somebody who has caught some video footage of people telling lies to grab the signatures in order to get it on the ballot that they would have him removed potentially. So we've got the person in studio today that grabbed that footage. Before we introduce him, I just want to remind you, like this video, share it out with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and if you would, get on over to ourwatch.com, subscribe, become one of our watchmen. We would really appreciate that. But today, like I said, we've got somebody in studio who has caught the lies firsthand. Please welcome Riley Nemi. Riley, thank you for being with us.
No problem.
So, I want to show the footage in just a moment of you catching them lying to get signatures to try to remove Dr. Joseph Komrosky. But before we show the video footage, do me a favor, just paint a picture. What was this? How did you end up getting this footage?
Of course. So I was walking in my class around like 10 in the morning. It was in mid-November. And while walking in, I saw a recall sign, some girl collecting signatures, and around 2 or 3 people surrounding her listening to what she was saying, and looked like they were getting ready to sign. And while I was walking by, I heard her say, "Oh, they banned LGBTQ clubs." And I'm like, "No, they didn't." So I grabbed my phone, I started recording, didn't tell her I was recording, walked up to her and said, "No, they didn't. You're lying." And then it continued from there.
All right. Well, let's take a break here. Let's take a look and let's watch this footage.
No, they didn't. You're lying.
I'm lying.
Yeah, you are. I go to every single school board meeting. She's lying.
I have the school board meeting planning right
They
here.
did not ban LGBTQ clubs.
Yes, they
You're wrong.
did.
No, they didn't.
Okay, what about the flags then?
What? They banned any flag that's not the California
But
state
why?
flag or the United States flag.
But why?
These teachers were being political in class.
Okay.
Why are teachers being political in class? They're paid with my tax dollars.
It's
They
the
shouldn't be being
students.
political
You
in
think the
class.
teachers are the ones bringing the flags in? It's the students. The students do not.
But the teachers are still hanging up those flags on public grounds. Although those students might have bought the $12 flag on Amazon, those teachers are still hanging it up on taxpayer-funded buildings.
Okay.
So they did not ban those cups.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
This woman clearly telling a lie, and you know this is a lie. How do you know it's a lie?
Well, I know it's a lie because I've been to almost every board meeting in the past 5 months or so, and they've never banned LGBTQ clubs. I've seen kids go up there and speak and say, "I'm part of this LGBTQ club." So I know they didn't ban the clubs at any of the school, at any of the high schools or middle schools. If they haven't in the middle schools, hopefully they don't. But I just know it's a lie because, I mean, I also went to the schools too. And there's still kids who are in there that I know that are a part of that group. And I just know it's a lie because, well,
because you know the truth. You're walking in the truth. So you've been going to the school board meetings. Let me ask you, you're kind of young.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the interest you have in these school board meetings?
I mean, the interest I have is I watched like how I was treated in school being a conservative ever since like 7th and 8th grade, starting to wear conservative apparel at the school. Been treated very badly by the kids, and I see how much it divides people. But I also see what some of the teachers have done, like Mr. Hyde, for example. He has, or at least when I was there, I was in one of his clubs. I wasn't a student of his, thankfully. I was in one of his clubs, and he had like 4 different pride flags hanging on the wall, like transgender, lesbian, and then like the full LGBTQ. I just saw like how he was almost convincing kids to become gay or transgender. He was almost like helping them. And I'm just like, this isn't right. I know people aren't created transgender. People aren't born gay. I know this isn't right. He's making them this way. So that's what really fuels me to go to these board meetings when I first heard about it.
So you started going to board meetings. You see what's going on. You see the truth of what's happening at these board meetings, and now you're standing up for the truth. And when you heard this young person lying like that, what was your initial thought?
Well, my initial thought was I was kind of mad at first because I'm like, well, she's lying. This is against the law. Elections Code 18600. You can search it up. For the state of California, it's illegal. And I just thought, like, what else are they lying about? You know, later on I thought about it. She's just being manipulated by people higher up from her. But at first when I heard that, I'm like, she's breaking the law. Elections Code 18600. Like, this needs to be dealt with, and it still needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, well, you had said to me that this is a slippery slope.
It is.
Right? Explain that. What's your thought on that?
So like with the slippery soap, like if she can lie to get recall signatures saying like, oh, they banned LGBTQ clubs, can I, let's say if I want to get Steven Schwartz recalled, who's another board member in Temecula, can I just say, oh, he's a child molester, recall him, sign here quickly, get this horrible man recalled. It's a slippery slope of how much can they lie, how much can they get away with.
Right. So you've got this footage, and you have other evidence. We don't need to talk about it now, but you have other evidence that lies were said in order to obtain these signatures, and you took these evidence that you have to the Riverside Registrar of Voters, right?
Yeah.
And what happened from there?
So I didn't personally bring it to them, but the people I'm with, they brought it to them. And the Registrar of Voters of Riverside County, they pretty much said like, well, we don't know how many signatures were gained illegally. Like we can't take off 50 signatures or 100 signatures. There's no exact amount, which kind of angers me because what's the punishment for committing these crimes? Like there's no
Right.
can get away with it.
Right. Well, yeah, the Riverside County Registrar of Voters has evidence that fraud was committed.
Yeah.
Lies were told. Laws were broken. They should be doing something about this, and they need to be held accountable for it. I'm watching things, people like you coming out with this. You're not the only one now. I've got other people coming to me with lies that were being told. We're going to continue to uncover those things. But what would you like to see happen from this point?
Well, what I'd like to see happen is maybe the recall gets the Registrar of Voters can do something to look at all the signatures to see how valid they are and view other evidence before throwing the Komrosky recall on the ballot. I don't believe it'll be on the March 5th ballot. Hopefully not. I think it'll be on the November ballot. But I hope they can look at that and see it's just filled with lies and like gaining signatures in immoral and illegal ways as well. So I hope that they could just look at it and see that like it can't go through. I hope that's what they say. But I mean, also maybe some fines or something for whoever sponsored the recall, whoever ran the recall. I believe it's TVEA was a part of it for running the recall, not the exact person or group, but maybe the people who were like dumping candy on the table for bribing people with candy or lying, maybe fined in some way, or like something has to be done to stop people in the future from doing this, going down the slippery slope of lying.
Right.
For votes.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely, we live in a land that has laws, and one of the things that we appreciate living in America is that those laws are enforced, and we have law and order. And when they stop enforcing the laws, you end up out of order. And this is where we see this whole recall effort has gone. It's out of order. It's filled with lies. Dr. Komrosky has done nothing but good for our community, and he's a man to be respected. He's been doing, like I said, really good things for our community, and we need to keep that man in office. So, Riley, I want to thank you for being bold and coming out with the truth, and I just pray that you would continue to do that. Like I said, you're a young man. I see a bright future in store for you, so I wish you all the best in life.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to let you all know, so important that we get the truth into people's lives. We need to make sure Dr. Joseph Komrosky stays in office. This whole recall election needs to be put to the curb. People need to get out and vote. Make sure that man stays in office, because he and Jen Wiersma have been doing nothing but good, and we need to keep them right where they are. So continue to zoom into what we're doing. We're going to continue to get this information to you guys, and we're going to make sure that you know how you can support Dr. Komrosky. In fact, in the notes for this segment that we have right here, we'll put in there how you can go there, support him, and keep him in office. So important that we have good, strong Christian men like him there. So God bless you. We'll see you next time right here on Our Watch with Tim Thompson.